Good morning, beloved. Take a deep breath and let your heart settle into this quiet space. Maybe the room you're sitting in right now feels a little too quiet. The only sound you hear is the slow ticking of a clock. There's no voice calling your name. No soft, good morning. No message blinking on your phone, reminding you that someone out there was thinking of you before the sun came up. No clinking of coffee cups. No rustle of life around you. Just stillness and the ache of being unseen. There are mornings like this. Mornings that feel empty. Mornings that carry the quiet weight of being unnoticed. Mornings where your body wakes up, but your heart still feels like it's waiting for someone to see you. And you wonder quietly, have I disappeared from the world? Have I become invisible in the lives of those I once mattered to? There's no rush to get ready. No one waiting on the other side of the door. No task so urgent that it demands your presence. Just silence, stillness, space. But let me gently say this to your soul. Loneliness isn't always about being alone. Sometimes it's about the ache of not being seen, of not having someone truly notice the storm behind your smile, the heaviness in your eyes, the quiet hope still beating in your chest. You may be surrounded by people and still feel invisible. You may be living with family and still feel unheard. You may be scrolling through messages and still feel untouched. But right here, in the quiet of your morning, in the stillness of this space, there is a voice whispering your name. A gentle, holy presence that has not missed one breath you've taken. The one who knit you together in your mother's womb is still watching over you, still close, still speaking. And sometimes all it takes to hear him is a pause. So this morning, as you sit in your quiet room, let your heart lean in. The world may not have sent you a message, but heaven has, and it begins with the Psalms. Right there, in the hush of your morning, when your heart aches quietly and your soul feels thin, there comes a verse, soft as a whisper, steady as truth. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Let that sink in. He is not far. He is not standing at a distance, waiting for you to feel better before he steps in. He is already near. Near to your trembling. Near to your sighs. Near to that silent cry you didn't even have the strength to speak aloud. You may feel like your heart is breaking piece by piece, over things you can name and over things you can't. Maybe it's a grief that time hasn't healed, a disappointment that feels too familiar, an absence that echoes too loud, a love that ended without explanation, a goodbye that never got closure, a birthday spent alone. But Scripture does not say he waits for the strong. It says he draws close to the brokenhearted, to the ones who feel forgotten, to the ones who are crushed in spirit, not just weary, but undone. What kind of God moves closer when others pull away? What kind of love leans in when others turn away in discomfort or confusion? Only one. Only the Lord who sees your soul and says, "You don't have to pretend with me." There is something sacred in that. A safe place where tears are not judged, where pain is not rushed past, where silence is understood, not as distance, but as depth. So if today your heart feels like it's in pieces, you don't have to gather them up before coming to him. Just hold them out, fragile and trembling. He's already near, and he's not just watching, he's saving. He's healing. He's holding you steady in a way no one else can. He doesn't need your performance. He doesn't ask you to impress him with faith that never wavers. He's the kind of father who leans down, lifts your chin and simply says, "I see you. I love you. I'm staying." Even if the prayers you whisper feel small, even if you've cried the same tears for years, even if no one else has noticed how long you've been trying to hold it together, God has, And he hasn't grown tired of your voice. He hasn't lost patience with your questions. He hasn't turned away when you struggled to believe. So rest your heart, dear one. Lean your head against the truth of Psalm 34:18. It's not just a line on a page. It's a gentle hand on your shoulder. It's heaven's quiet assurance. I am here. I have not forgotten you. Lord, this silence is loud. I sit in this quiet room, and the stillness hums louder than any voice. There are no footsteps in the hallway, no texts lighting up my screen, no one asking, "How are you really?" No clinking cups, no laughter spilling from a shared table, no soft knock at the door. And yet, you are here. I believe that. Even when my heart can't feel it, I choose to believe it. Because you've promised that you are close to the brokenhearted. So I come to you, not with eloquence, but with honesty. This morning feels empty, Lord. The walls feel tight. The air feels heavy. And my soul, it just feels tired of being alone. Tired of the long stretches of silence. Tired of wondering if anyone notices when I'm not okay. Would you fill this room, Jesus? Would you walk into the silence like only you can? Not to erase the ache, but to hold it with me. Sit with me in the middle of this ache and don't rush me past it. I'm not asking you to fix everything right now. I'm asking you to stay. Stay while I learn to trust again. Stay while I relearn what it means to be seen, not for what I do, but for who I am. Sit beside me while the coffee brews and the light shifts through the curtains. Whisper my name into this loneliness. Let me feel you in the air, in the rhythm of my breath, in the stillness that used to frighten me. Let your presence remind me that I am never truly by myself. Lord, I know you understand the ache of being alone. You were deserted in Gethsemane. You were rejected, left, and misunderstood. So you know what it's like to cry out and feel the weight of no answer. You know what it feels like when friends fall asleep while you are grieving. That's why I trust you with this silence. If no one texts today, if no one notices me, let it not shake my identity. Remind me, I am not invisible to you. You don't need a phone number to reach me. You don't knock. You walk straight in, into the silence, into the sorrow, into the space I thought no one could fill. God, when I feel unwanted, remind me that you chose me. When I feel unnoticed, remind me that you called me by name. When I feel unworthy, remind me that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Remind me that you sang over me before I ever had words, that you etched my name into your hand, long before I wondered if I mattered. Let your spirit be the voice that soothes my fear. Let your presence be the hand that holds mine when I wake up alone. Let your love be the warmth I feel when the world feels cold. Let your peace settle over this room like morning light. And for those who feel like I do this morning, the widow who still reaches for the pillow beside her, the man whose children live far away and no longer call, the woman who has poured out love but rarely receives it back, the one sitting in the hallway of a care center, waiting for a visitor that doesn't come. Be near to them too. Let none of us sit in our rooms thinking we're forgotten. Wrap us in your nearness, Lord. Sing over us in the quiet, and teach our hearts to listen, not for the noise of the world, but for the sound of you drawing close, for the hush of heaven that says, "You are mine." Today, I don't need the noise of a crowd. I just need the nearness of you, and that, Lord, is enough. There is a certain kind of comfort that no human voice can offer. a kind of protection that no wall, no relationship, no routine can guarantee. It is not made of stone or habit, it is born of promise. And that promise is found in Psalm 91. This morning, I want you to rest in this truth, not just hear it, not just recite it, but let it wrap around your weary heart like a warm blanket in the cold. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. Psalm 91, 1, 4. Let the imagery speak to your soul. The Most High, God himself, offers shelter not just for your body, but for your emotions, your thoughts, your vulnerable heart. And under his wings, not one sorrow goes unnoticed. Not one fear is mocked. Not one lonely sigh is ignored. When the world forgets, he remembers. When people walk away, he stays. When you don't even know how to pray, his feathers cover you anyway. There's something powerful about that word, cover. He doesn't just observe you. He doesn't just keep his distance and say, be strong. No, he covers. He leans in. He shields. Like a mother bird pulling her fragile chicks under the safety of her wings, God gathers you in, not when you're brave, but when you're broken. Not when you're sure, but when you're scared. You are not exposed, beloved. You are not left unguarded. You are not walking into this day alone. And listen to this next part. He will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. Psalm 91:11. That's not poetic wishful thinking. That's a declaration from the mouth of God. He assigns protection to your path, not just when you're in church, not just when you feel spiritual, but in all your ways. When you do the dishes, when you drive to the doctor, when you wait for the call that never comes. Even in the quiet corners of life, angels stand guard. Let's pause here. Would you dare to believe that this ordinary morning is not unguarded? That heaven is closer than the silence makes it seem? That this very moment, right now, your name is known in the courts of God? If your heart is heavy, if your bed felt too big last night, if your hope feels paper thin, just breathe. You're covered. Lord, this morning I take shelter, not in my plans, not in distractions, not in pretending to be okay. I take shelter in you. I come under your wings, and I ask you to quiet the storm in me. When my mind races toward fear, anchor it in your word. When my chest tightens with worry, ease it with your spirit. When I forget I'm protected, whisper again, I've got you, child. I always have. Today I declare, I will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day. Though 1,000 may fall at my side, though 10,000 at my right hand, it will not come near me, because I dwell in the shelter of the Most High. And I rest, truly rest, in the shadow of the Almighty. There's a certain kind of loneliness that doesn't come from being alone. It comes from feeling unknown, from waking up and wondering, does anyone truly see me? Does anyone really know what I carry inside? But Psalm 139 whispers something holy to our aching souls. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Psalm 139:14. You are not an afterthought. You were not created in silence or in haste. God wove you together with care. He knows every strand of your hair, every wrinkle that has formed from joy or sorrow. He knows the story behind your sighs, the reason behind your restlessness. He knows what you don't say out loud. He knows the moment you fake a smile in front of others. He hears the whisper in your heart when the room goes quiet. You are not lost in a sea of faces to him. You are known by name. Your existence is not vague to heaven. It is detailed, intentional, treasured. And when your heart feels overwhelmed, when it all feels like too much to carry, and the tears are just beneath the surface, he offers another promise. From the ends of the earth I call to you. I call as my heart grows faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. Psalm 61 verse 2. What a gift this verse is for weary souls. It doesn't say, find the strength on your own. It says, call to him. Cry out from the edge of your strength, and he will lift you to higher ground. He doesn't wait until you have words polished with theology. He comes when you cry from the gut, the raw, unrehearsed, honest ache. So today, if your heart feels faint, if you've been trying to hold it together for too long, if you're tired of being strong for everyone else, you don't have to climb to God. You only need to call. Lord, today I come to you, not as someone who has it all together, but as someone who needs to be held. I come not with a plan, but with an ache, not with answers, but with questions I no longer know how to ask. I call from the ends of my own understanding, from the far reaches of grief and confusion, from the quiet corners where my hope sometimes flickers, and I ask, lead me to the rock that is higher than I, higher than my fears, higher than my disappointments, higher than the lies that say I'm forgotten, higher than the voices that remind me of past failures. You are the rock that cannot be shaken. You are the one who lifts my face when it falls. You know me deeply, and you love me completely. You see the version of me that I'm afraid to reveal, and still you choose me. In this world where people forget, where even those closest to me may overlook the battles I fight in silence, you never forget, you never turn away, you are never too busy to notice, and you never run out of compassion. And when I cannot stand, you carry me. When I don't believe I'm worth holding, you gather me in your arms. Today I rest not just in the fact that you love the world, but that you love me, personally, tenderly, eternally. And that changes everything. Even when no one sees you, God sees. When no one checks in, heaven leans in. When the phone stays quiet and the room feels hollow, there is a presence that remains, constant, steady, and close. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked in the rush of other people's lives. You are seen by the one whose eyes never leave you. And here is his whisper to your soul this morning. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. That's not poetic sentiment. It's a blood-bought promise, one etched into eternity by a God who never breaks his word. You may have felt invisible in your own home. You may have watched friends drift. You may have wondered if your prayers hit the ceiling. But today, heaven answers back, I am here. The silence in your life may not change overnight. The people you long to hear from may still stay quiet. But God is not waiting for their presence to validate your worth. His nearness is not based on human attention. Let that settle deep into your heart today. You are not waiting to be noticed. You are already chosen. You are already beloved. You are already held. Lord, thank you for not needing noise to be present. Thank you for meeting me in this quiet morning with eyes full of compassion and a heart that never grows tired of me. Remind me today that I don't need to earn your attention. I already have it. When I sit alone at the kitchen table, be my company. When I make coffee and no one joins me, fill the room with your peace. When I check my phone and find it still silent, remind me that your word is always speaking life over me. You've never missed a moment of my story. You've been there for every tear I couldn't explain. And you're here now, not just to observe, but to comfort, to restore, to breathe fresh hope into a soul that's been holding on quietly. So I release my fear of being forgotten. I let go of the belief that silence equals abandonment. And I hold fast to you, my steady place. Today, I walk not in loneliness, but in holy solitude. Because the presence of people may come and go, but the presence of God is eternal. You are the God who stays, the shepherd who never loses a sheep, the Father who never turns his face away. So I rest in you, even when no one sees me. You see, even when no one calls, you are already near. And that is more than enough. If today's prayer has touched something tender in you, if it found you in a quiet room, in a lonely moment, in a heart space where words were hard to find, then know this: you are not walking this path alone. There is a quiet community here, a gathering of hearts just like yours, souls who wake to silence, who long for connection, and who are learning to hear the voice of God even in the stillness. And today, I want to invite you to step a little closer. If you're feeling lonely today, would you write these words in the comments? Lord, be near to me. It's not just a phrase, it's a prayer, a declaration. It's a small act of reaching out, and sometimes that's where healing begins. When you comment, others will see. They may be strangers by name, but kindred by spirit. And you might be surprised at who replies, who prays with you, who says, "Me too." Your vulnerability may be the lifeline someone else needs today. Your courage to say, "I'm hurting," may help someone else say, "So am I." Share this video with someone who's been on your heart. Maybe it's an elderly parent living alone. Maybe it's a friend who's been distant lately. Maybe it's someone who never says they're struggling, but you can feel it. You never know how one quiet video, one simple reminder, one whispered psalm can be the very word they've been needing to hear. Let's lift one another up. Let's not wait for perfect words. Let's let grace do what only grace can do: bind hearts together in truth and hope. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to this channel, not for the sake of numbers, but for the sake of belonging. Because here, we don't just post prayers, we build a sacred rhythm of returning to the heart of God together, day by day, word by word, psalm by psalm. Has God used a specific psalm to comfort you during a lonely season? Share it in the comments. You never know how your testimony might speak directly into someone else's midnight. Let's become a living echo of Psalm 91-. Not just reciting it, but embodying it. Not just saying God is our refuge, but showing others that we believe it by how we reach, how we respond, and how we love. Today, I bless you with this. May the Lord surround you with unexpected nearness. May He send someone to speak life over you. And if not today, then may you be that someone for another. You are part of something holy. You are covered, you are called, and you are deeply loved. So walk in quiet confidence, not because the world knows your name, but because heaven does.